Hi guys, welcome back to Quick Tips at Running with China. Today we're going to talk a little bit about when you should use a sourcing agent and when you should try to go on your own and do it yourself, right? So
there's probably advantage and not probably, but there is advantages and disadvantages for both. So let me ask you, Matt, what is the advantage of doing it yourself?
Well, the advantage of doing it yourself, one is the control you're going to have, right? You're going to know everything. You're going to know exactly what the situation is on everything. You're going to know what your timelines are, what you negotiated. Everything's going to be very clear because you're the one doing it.
That's right. But that's the negative point.
It's also a disadvantage, right? You also have to do everything and you're responsible for everything, right? So this can also be a big time suck, right? So doing everything on your own is a good idea for people who are just getting started and learning how to source. So it will kind of teach you what you need to kind of be concerned about. But also it's for people who have more time than money, right? So if you have more money than time, it's probably a wise investment to look for some help in certain areas, right?
Sure.
So the first areas I would look for help in is don't do logistics on your own. Work with a freight forwarder.
Sure.
What else?
Well, let's talk about the advantages of maybe getting an agent or working with someone else to help you. So this is the one thing he was talking about, is that if you have more money than time, like you're a successful Amazon guy, you're selling $10,000 worth of stuff a month, and you're focused on marketing your product and actually doing a good job running your business. You don't have time to sit there now and figure out all these little details. So first thing he's mentioned is that you could find a freight forwarder maybe to take off and do that work for you. Now to find an agent to do your manufacturing and production, we want to find a kind of a special person, not just anyone, but someone who adds what?
Value.
Value.
Right. So the ways you can add value as a sourcing agent, one thing you can do is they can have a relationship with suppliers already. This is a bit of a double-edged sword. The reason it's helpful though is that they can probably get you good, decent terms with the supplier. They can probably do a lower MOQ order. They can do low runs. But the disadvantage is they do have a pre-existing relationship with that supplier. So we talked about having your interests aligned, right? If they're working with a supplier, they might be getting paid from the supplier too. So you might not be getting the best deal or the top quality or everything that you should deserve. But then again, if you're not having to deal with it and you don't want to deal with all these negotiations with the supplier, it could be an advantage as well because you can move fast.
That's right. Their value add is that they're getting you a product in time. They're doing it at the right price for you. Maybe not the cheapest price, but they're getting that product for you and it's getting to your door. Right.
And if you have a brand on Amazon and you're moving stuff quick and you know that if the product's $1 or $2 more per piece, it doesn't matter to you because you're making $20 or $30 per sale. It might not be worth it to try to capture all of that profit margin. It might be wise to find somebody to help you source that product, build a relationship with the supplier, somebody who knows what they're doing, somebody who's on the ground here.
Right.
So that leads us to our next point too. What else should you outsource? And the next thing that I think of is quality control, right? So if you're not going to be here on the ground, if you're an Amazon seller and you're not willing to shell out $2,000 and spend 2 weeks of your time on the ground in China, the next best thing is to hire a third-party inspection company. So somebody will come in for $300 or $400 a man day, look at your goods, go through your inspection, understand what a minor and major mistake are with your products, and give you a report and show your supplier that you are going to check the quality of the goods. You are looking to build a long-term relationship. So that for me is something that definitely should be outsourced. And people talk about that high cost, $300, $400. If you don't have $300 or $400 to spare on an order, you need to reevaluate your business model and make sure that you build in that extra margin, because this is crucial to make sure you're getting exactly what you paid for, but also setting yourself up for long-term success, right? You want your supplier to know that you understand what's going on, that you're going to make sure the quality is there every time, right? So even when I work with a supplier for 5 years and they're making the same product over and over again, I still pay for somebody to go out there and look at it, because it helps you preemptively avoid these kind of problems with the supplier.
So, do you want to go direct, or do you need an agent? You kind of have to first assess about what are your needs and how much time you can commit or money you can commit. So, if you have more questions about it, we'd be more than happy to answer that for you.
One more thing that I want to mention to people too is this assumption of a project manager, right? Most factories will not have a dedicated project manager for your project. They will have the person who made the sale will kind of haphazardly manage your project. We just ran into this with a big project we had, where we had kind of a sales manager who was managing our project, and he just didn't put in the time or effort, didn't have
just
the
had too
experience.
many projects.
Right.
You know, his head was in too many places, and even though you have a big purchaser, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the attention that you want.
Right. So this is something where you either need to hire somebody, a third party, hire somebody in your company, or understand that you don't have a dedicated project manager for your project.
So if you need more questions or more specific questions about this certain topic, we'd be more happy to answer them. If you want to learn more about us, you can click on the link below and receive our top 8 mistakes that we think you're making right now, and we'd love to hear more from you.
Thanks a lot, guys.
See you later.